Hello and welcome today. For this week, am following on from a series I did a few weeks back on living with a positive mindset. And in this series this week, I have been discussing the tools to start turning that mindset from negative into positive. On Monday, I started the week off by talking about practicing gratitude. Tuesday, I discussed using affirmations, and yesterday I talked about observing your inner dialogue. So, all those videos are available on my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, so go check them out. So, just to recap, for any of those who have recently joined my network, or for those of you who are not familiar with me, I'm Grania McConnell. I'm a transformational coach and speaker, and I'm also the owner of Strong Path Coaching. I work primarily with mums in the corporate world, mums who run their own businesses, and mums who are in the process of relocating. And we work on life-work balance, setting career and personal goals, regaining your confidence, and getting rid of limiting beliefs that are holding you back, both professionally and personally. Today, my tip is to be easy on yourself. So, I work mostly with mums. I am very aware of what we think of ourselves and how we talk about ourselves. I'm aware of how we judge ourselves and the painful expectations that we place upon ourselves. So, why do we do this? The easy answer is that from a very young age, as women, we have had expectations pressed upon us, not only from our inner circles, such as our families or our friends, but also as society, which includes media such as magazines, TV, and movies. We're getting signals from all of these different areas. To look deeper into this, we need to explore what mum means, and also what the perfect mum means. I always ask this in presentations, and to my clients as well, and the same answers always come up. And that is a mother is someone who puts herself last. She has an immaculate home. The children are immaculate and very well behaved. She is the manager and the doer of the household, not only making the appointments for doctors and dentists, but also doing the laundry, making organic homemade meals, ensuring that everything has a place and that it is put in its place. So that is what some of the answers I get when I ask what the perfect mum is. So then I would go on further and I ask, physically, what does this mother look like? And I'm always given the same answer, which is this 1950s image of a wife, with the natural makeup and an apron, the hair pulled back maybe, but yeah, absolutely perfect looking, a low heel, not a high heel or not a flat shoe. So if we all have different upbringings and different personalities, not only as ourselves, but our own mothers have their own personalities, why do we all conjure up the same image of a mum? I mean, the answer is we have to put that down to society. The image of a perfect mum that we're talking about, this 1950s mum, was created in the 1950s by a man, someone who had never ever had the experience of being a mother. This woman has never existed, nor will she ever exist. And yet, as mums, we are always measuring ourselves up against her. So what happens when we measure ourselves up against an unrealistic stereotype? What happens is we fall into a cycle of never measuring up, of never being enough, of losing our confidence, and even going into a cycle of self-hate. On top of living up to that stereotype, we also now live in a time where most mums work. The 40-hour working week was created again by a man, for a man, who was working while his wife took care of the household. She took care of the childcare responsibilities. She was the household manager and everything that comes with that. The point of all this is that this stereotype and the working mum role that we now play is impossible. We cannot be everything to everyone unless we are heading for a breakdown or for burnout. So, going back to living positively, we need to be kind to ourselves. This is so important. This is something that we instill in our children 24/7. Be kind. And yet, we're not being kind to ourselves. We need to show ourselves love and care. We need to think of ourselves and consider our own mental well being and physical health. And I'm going to say something very controversial before that of our partners and our children in order to be what we need to be. We need to consider getting outside help to give us ourselves back some time. And something I've been reading a lot about recently, particularly specific to COVID, is that on average, women are still doing 80% of the household chores and childcare responsibilities, despite also working the same hours as their partners. So let's start having that uncomfortable conversation with our partners and asking them to raise the bar with regards to their chores and duties. There is an epidemic of burnt out mothers and women, again, more so during this global pandemic. And it is time that we started to get rid of the limiting belief that everyone must come first before us. We cannot raise children and have flourishing careers if we don't look after ourselves. It is the building block of our families. We must look after ourselves. So be that mother who looks after herself, who offloads some duties to her partner in order to get back some time for herself every week. Please remember that we are all under a lot of stress just in our normal daily lives. That's apart from any other drama that's going on besides that. And that we have to be kind to ourselves. Forgive the times we've lost our temper or forgot to send the permission slip back to school. Those things that play on our mind, forgive yourself for it. Be kind to yourself. Try to become attuned to when you are measuring yourself up against this unrealistic stereotype and get back to being you. And that's my final tip in this series. Be kind to yourself. I hope you've enjoyed this series. Please feel free to send me any feedback or questions. Or if you're interested in having that discovery call, give me a shout. Have a great weekend and I hope to see you all soon. Bye.